It's like almost 1 in the morning, just got off of live stream. I don't know why I'm wearing the crown. I got it a few days ago after I filmed the Princess Protection Program video. And I commented on the fact that I didn't have a crown to wear, and I got this and another crown to wear in future princess videos that I'm planning on covering. And I just want to wear it today, just cause. I need something to draw my power from today. So how about this? I'll be the Queen of Nostalgia. Does that work? I think that works. Tell me in the comments what you would be the king/queen/non-binary ruler of in the comments. I'm stalling because this is such... I don't even know where to start with this one. Let me set the scene for you. It's the early 2000s, and you're David Hasselhoff. Go with me. Just go with me. It's the early 2000s. You're David Hasselhoff, and you are cast in the role of the iconic Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on Broadway. And you're so stoked. You're so stoked that you lobby for and successfully get them to do a professional taping of the, I believe, last performance of this show's run for posterity's sake, which is something that I'm a really big fan of because I love musicals, but I've never been to Broadway, and I think most people are not able to actually see shows on Broadway, so I think that's great, making Broadway accessible to people. I particularly think this one's great because it is the wildest ride I have ever seen in watching any musical ever. Because I'm not a theater expert. This was actually sent to me by Noah Hutchins, a frequent supporter of the channel and member of the community, who actually is a theater aficionado, graduated with a theater major. There's really no way to lead into what you're about to see without just showing it to you, because it's one of those so bad it's good things. It's one of those things that is so technically bad that it circles around and comes back to being fantastic because it's so entertaining. Genuinely, it's entertaining. I need you to see this. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's all on YouTube. It'll be linked, but oh my god.
You will have heard appalling things. I tell you this. He was my friend.
Okay, well this crossfade setup that we get in the first act really sets us up for, you know, something really dramatic and emotional, you know? I'm not an expert on the story of Jekyll and Hyde. I haven't read it in a long time, and I think the last time I read it, I technically read the Wishbone version of it. But I'm gonna try to guide you through the story as best I can because it does deal with very heavy subject matter at the end of the day.
He's beyond help, Henry.
Therefore, we treat him like an animal? He's a man, John. He has emotional responses as sensitive as any of ours.
I'm so sorry. David Hasselhoff has such a charm to him, but I never expected to see him as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Lost in the darkness, silence surrounds you.
I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about his performance where he's supposed to be just disturbed by this person dying in front of him as a doctor.
I will find the answer.
But he really just seems excited about it.
Till the day that I die.
He's like, this is my moment, baby. I've been preparing for it.
Good night, Father.
I forgot that part of Jekyll and Hyde. We just went from like, well, not 1 to 10. We were already at like a 10, but we just went from like 10 to 1,000.
And the truth is that it's all a facade.
Now the ensemble takes us through a version of one of the big songs. I believe it's just called Facade.
But there's one thing I know, and I know it for sure. This disease we've got has got no ready cure.
Again, I'm gonna keep reiterating because it's been a while since I've covered musical theater anything, but whenever I do, I try to make it clear that I am by no means a musical theater expert. My level of expertise kind of stops and starts with just basic knowledge about like film production, shot setup, composition, that kind of thing. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt. However,
There are preachers who kill, there are killers who preach, there are teachers who lie, there are liars who teach.
the music does slap in this in this production. I can't lie. The music is so fun. I have no idea if they're like setting up this scene well. I don't know. Like, this choreography is strange because it's just 20 people trying not to run into each other in my eyes, and it feels a little bit off to me, but I have no like technical backing to back that up. But I will say the performers put their 1000% into this production. Why did I say percent? Like, that's how you're supposed to pronounce that word. It's percent. I was so enraptured that I just couldn't speak.
Dr. Jekyll, the sole purpose for our extraordinary meeting is to permit you to explain the very unusual request that you've previously submitted to us in writing.
Okay, so Dr. Jekyll is gonna make a plea to the community.
Distinguished governors, I'm obliged to thank you in advance for hearing me out in this matter of vital interest to any enlightened member of our society.
He's talking to these esteemed adults who are going to have the power to either grant or shoot down his dreams like they're kindergartners.
To isolate what is functional from what is dysfunctional, the behavioral control of which I speak is more than theoretical. It is achievable. I must now be permitted to test my formula and my theory on a human subject.
What?
The thing that he's so excited about, the thing that he's bringing all of this energy to pitching like he's on a weird episode of Victorian Shark Tank.
A man whom society has already abandoned as hopeless, an inmate of this prison.
Doing human experimentation on prison inmates.
In the name of compassion and medical science, I can save many lives if you give me one man.
So that's intense.
You're a doctor, not a savior. Dr. Jekyll for a start. But I judge from your behavior, you can't tell the two apart.
Ooh, drama.
I don't presume to the stature of moralists. I leave pretensions like that, sir, to you.
He has such a vibrato in his voice, doesn't he?
It can be done.
Ooh, that's rough, dude. So he gets very musically rejected.
This is England, you know, not the continent.
Yeah, they're like, Americans are batshit crazy. They'd let you do this weird shit. America probably would. America's done some sketchy shit.
You finally convinced them that you're mad.
Oh, they set themselves up as friends of medicine, John.
So after this rejection, he starts kind of going into a full breakdown.
They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites, every last one of them.
Yes, but they're powerful hypocrites.
And this poor character, who I'm forgetting his name right now, he's having to do that best friend thing where, like, you're trying to be hype man and conscience to your best friend and be like, okay, I'm with you,
I can't afford caution. Henry!
but chill down for a second. I was almost said chill out and calm down at the same time.
It's absurd.
He's tinkering with a man's soul, and I don't like it. He's lucky we're living in modern times.
Ah, yes, the modern times of Victorian England. Though, I can't throw too many stones because the whole pastors not wanting to listen to doctors hasn't really changed all that much. Sincerely, somebody that used to be in the evangelical church.
Today's penalties for heresy are not what they should be.
I mean, not all of them, but probably there are a lot of progressive Victorian doctors, too. I don't know. I wasn't there.
From the day my mother died, my father, full of good intentions, treated me as though I were a young child.
This poor woman has to just quickly sing all of her life story to us.
I am not the protege to waste your time on. I'm complete.
And just as she's like, I don't need no man, Hasselhoff walks in, and she's like, I might need a man.
I have to take every opportunity I am given, sir, to state my beliefs.
Even though you antagonize the established authority in the process.
But your friends are not the established authority, merely the established prejudice.
He tries to fight his case for his medical stuff.
Is there a Lord Beaconsfield?
He died 30 years ago.
Sensible fellow.
And then everybody else leaves and he has this song with the girl where he's like, I can't marry you, I'm a doctor.
You realize you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of these aggravations.
Yes. I adore you, always have done, always will do.
And she's like, no, I want to marry you. You're a doctor.
I love you far too much to have you suffer the sort of life I have to offer. I must go on with the work I'm committed to.
That's not usually a check in the cons column. I mean, knowing what we know, that might not be the wisest choice on her part, but you know, so far, it doesn't really make sense to her.
Sometimes I see past the horizon.
Oh, me? Is it me?
And when despair tears me in two, who can I turn to but you?
Wait, I'm so confused. Does he want to marry her or doesn't he? This might not be a criticism. I might just not be paying enough attention. My meds aren't really kicking in this late at night.
Take me as I am.
This pose that they're doing right here, where he's got his arm and she's got the... It looks like the way that a middle-aged couple would pose in one of those, like, cringy 80s family photo things.
I hope you gave him the scolding he deserves.
Did Mother's scolding ever change you?
Okay, well, technically they're already getting married. That's why the party's happening. But, like, her dad does not like him.
I'm not alone in finding Henry's behavior difficult to tolerate.
Well, you don't have to tolerate it, Father. He's marrying me, not you.
He's like, girl, I'm getting bad vibes.
I have to let you go.
Well, I'm glad that resolved itself.
Just let me explain, I'll tell you.
Whoa, calm down. Inside voices. Technically they're outside, but you're inside a theater where people notoriously have to project their voices.
Henry Jekyll, you're a devil.
Ooh, he got a fancy jacket change. Oh, it looks like we've got a burlesque scene coming up.
Well, well, Lucy, it's about time you got here.
Oh, look who it is, Her Royal Majesty.
With all of these characters bullying this other character.
Oh, I suppose you've been up in Hyde Park again listening to all them speeches. And what's wrong with that? I like to listen.
It's like, you're late, you dumb bitch. That's the general tone.
Now you get your ass out onto that stage.
Which feels harsh.
No one knows who I am.
Me?
Look at me and tell me who I am, why I am.
I mean, I'm sorry. I only met you like 5 minutes ago.
Nobody knows, not even you.
Okay, but I can't lie. She's absolutely killing it in this outfit.
Men have argued through history as well they should.
I was about to say the real Victorian era would never deal with this shit, but actually, they would. If you know anything about the Victorian era, you know that they were into some weird shit back then.
That's nothing to do with it. Sit down, you only make it worse for the girl.
And then this guy who looks less like a Victorian crime boss and more like the sleazy manager of a band in 1975 hits her, which is not cool.
I wonder, is there anything I can do?
Talks to the doctor,
You helped me tonight.
I did?
Yes,
How?
with your song.
who's very flirty.
You need a friend. I mean simply that.
That's totally the Victorian version of sliding into the DMs.
I did discover something essential tonight. My volunteer.
Henry, you can't possibly. Where are you going?
My officers, I'm going to work tonight. I must.
You need to rest, Henry.
And then his friend's like, okay, you had fun, right? And he's like, right. And he's like, so you're not gonna do the weird science stuff, right? And he's like, no, I'm gonna do it tonight. And it's like, what?
Promise me you're not contemplating a volunteer from the Red Rat.
Good heavens, John, you think I'm such an unprincipled character?
I'm gonna figure this out if it kills me. And the friend's like, it might. And then just like dips.
I'm going home.
Quite right, sir.
You can't leave this to the butler like the butler did anything to deserve this kind of stress.
I'll do what I can.
Honestly, everybody in Jekyll's life needs to be in a support group together.
I must put aside the fears I feel inside.
Yeah, you got this, man. I shouldn't be encouraging you, but I'm a people pleaser, so I'm here for the ride.
This is the moment. This is the time when the momentum and the moment are in rhyme.
I like his jazzy little step that he does.
This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming become one.
This is like the song that you're supposed to sing right before you play the big basketball game at the end of High School Musical.
When all I've lived for becomes mine.
His big moment is human experimentation.
To prove to them I made it on my own.
And there's just something about this that is not capturing the feel, in my personal opinion.
The sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment.
Oh, and the jacket's coming off.
Moment for moment. This was the moment.
Be a hot take. I don't mind David Hasselhoff's voice. I think he's a pretty good singer. I don't know, like, in like terms of like what's expected in like this particular part on Broadway, whether or not like this is like technically good, but like I like his voice a lot. And I also genuinely just hope to one day be as enthusiastic about anything as David Hasselhoff clearly was about this project. This is like the same enthusiasm that Mark Hamill had when he was hosting the Muppets. Oh god, if you have a thing with needles, look away.
Leading me out of the darkness and into the light.
Look away! Oh, it looked like he was really having trouble tying that off. He's a scientist, YouTube. He's not doing anything illegal. Please don't flag this video.
I've injected 5 centiliters of the newly fused formula. Salty.
He's like, oh my god, that's Hawaiian Punch!
Euphoria. No noticeable behavioral differences.
He got a laugh out of the audience in that one.
Now the die is cast. Nothing left to lose. Time alone will prove. I'll show the world. Oh, dear God!
I feel oh my god, I'm dying. I love it so much.
I can't explain something inside me. Oh, breathtaking pain! Oh!
He's doing physical comedy. I love this.
Suddenly uncontrolled. This creature that I see.
Is he trying to make Hyde sexy? He's got a model walk.
4 o'clock, and all is well.
I haven't seen more misplaced sexuality since the Grinch live musical, where the Grinch had those, like, hip thrust movements, and you're like, oh my god.
Oh, I have a thirst I cannot deprive. Never have I felt so alive. There is no battle I couldn't survive.
Hide the children, please.
I'm so sorry, Miss Carew. Perhaps next week.
So weeks have now gone by, his fiancée hasn't seen him, she's pissed.
But he's not seen anybody. Not for weeks now.
They're like, don't feel bad, he's ignoring everybody equally.
And it is hardly my place to criticize the doctor.
So the friend goes in to talk to the butler, and he's like, what the fuck? And the butler's like, look, all I know is that he hasn't come out of the laboratory. Laboratory. In like a week, but there's this other guy. And the friend's like, there's this other guy? And he's like, yeah, I don't know where he came from.
The doctor must have let him in.
But he's just lurking around the house sometimes, and I didn't say anything.
I have been ringing for a quarter of an hour.
Well, somebody's a little grouchy today.
If I should be taken ill, or have to go away for a while without otherwise alerting you, everything you will want to know are in these letters.
And so he's freaking out his friend. He's like, if I die. And the friend's like, whoa, 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 what?
And a man, wife, and never anymore.
And then everybody sings over each other because everybody's in turmoil.
My fear is he's in over his head.
Okay, but you hate him. Don't lie. You're not sad that she might not marry him.
Judgment I am doing, they know nothing of the endless possibilities I see.
I know this is supposed to be a hyper intense moment, but I just can't focus on anything long enough to take anything seriously.
A young lady to see you, sir. She's dressed little enough like a lady.
Are you slut-shaming her? That's not cool. She's like, ooh, this is swanky.
Good God.
Pretty, isn't it?
Who on earth would do such a thing?
Oh, she's showing him a wound so that he can help her. I thought, like, she, like, took off the top thing and in true Victorian fashion, he was like, your shoulders. How could you?
I won't forget his name in a hurry, though. Hyde.
Why come to me? You have family, don't you?
No, I ain't got no family.
You're also a doctor. Why wouldn't she come to you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He doesn't feel that sorry to me.
I feel like a lady.
You are a lady.
Yeah, don't you put yourself down.
Will it never
I love it. He pulls the jacket back up and she's like, I didn't want you to help me put my clothes back on. God help me.
And I feel so alive.
I love that Dr. Jekyll, walking human disaster, has two women just like obsessing over him.
I'd like to see her again. Next week?
I don't like any of this.
Warms the heart to see that romance still blossoms.
Oh, wow. Who might this be? I've never seen this man before.
Do you know who I am?
Yes, Your Grace.
Yes.
Yes, I know exactly who you are.
When you really think about it, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde walked so that Montana and Miley Cyrus could run. It's just a person with slightly different hair sometimes leading a very double life.
I'll take from all mankind, conquer all the odds, and I feel all live on.
This might quite possibly be the funniest death scene I have ever seen. Oh my god, he lit him on fire! It's like the Elmo meme! As bizarre as this is, I'm not trying to laugh at it, I'm just genuinely entertained.
Read about the hideous murder, profane religious murder. That poor old bishop, what a shock.
Oh no, this is getting really intense.
He died without complaint. He should be made a saint.
He's gone back home to God.
Hi, Perry. You want to watch this with me? This side shuffle back and forth is just... God bless these people. They're putting their all into it. I just want to know who made them do that side shuffle in those outfits with the umbrellas.
Take what comfort that you can from us.
Oh my god! He just murked that guy, Perry.
Look at this, another murder, just like that other murder. That poor old General Glossip, dead.
Back in the world of Dr. Jekyll, he's freaking out a little bit.
You don't seem to be yourself. I've been better visited.
I mean, murder's always wrong, but that first guy definitely deserved it.
When I order a decent claret, I expect a decent claret.
Well, well, well. If it isn't faith, hope, and charity. You.
He's just saying yeet the rich, you know?
Mine!
Did he stab him with the cane?
Bessie, my love. You really shouldn't wear your diamonds on the street.
There's 17 people there. You're telling me, Perry, that none of them could run to apprehend the guy that literally just killed the guy in front of all of them? telling me they all had to run to check on the dead guy? Be like, yep, he really is dead. We're all gonna sit here and verify, just to be sure.
That's a matter between you and God. God knows, and you know, that you tried.
No, where is he? I don't see him. There he is.
Bad news from God, Teddy.
These are some of the most fragile rich people I've ever seen. He's right there, guys. It's an open and shut case.
We are here alone.
So then the fiance comes to check on him and he comes in looking like absolute hell.
Who let you in here?
Who let me in
Who?
here?
And he's like, Ma, how'd you get in here?
I cannot believe that either one of us has become so altered that we are unable to have a civil conversation. Once upon a dream.
She doesn't have any more questions than that. He looks like he's been on Jordan Peterson's all-meat diet. She doesn't want to know anything about what he's been doing all this time.
And I am here alone.
And he doesn't have anything he wants to fill her in on either. Does nobody have any updates?
Was it never meant to be? Was it just a dream?
Yeah, because your relationship doesn't have open communication.
Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, oh, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious.
Most of those kind of problems could be fixed by just talking to each other. Did they both just reach their hands out in each other's direction and then were sad when they realized they were like 10 feet away from each other?
And I do love you.
I will wait for you however long it takes.
So just like Ross and Rachel, they go on a break.
The experiment is out of control.
So at this point, the experiment's completely going wrong, obviously. When your science experiment ends in like 6 homicides, you should probably rethink the hypothesis.
The transformations are starting to recur of their own accord.
But also, he now can't control when he changes. And as he's writing all of this down, his friend walks in and overhears him and asks him who Edward Hyde is.
What is the meaning of this document?
And just like Miley Stewart did the time that she had to sell pictures of The Rock to a tabloid to keep her Hannah secret in, he comes up with a wild lie on the spot.
Who is Edward Hyde?
Colleague.
Yes, I tried really hard to make that reference because it's a reference that needed to be made. Should I make a video about that episode in the future? I feel like I should.
I've told you everything. Henry. Everything I can comprehend.
Henry,
everything I can comprehend myself.
That, like, melodramatic hyperventilating that he just did, I felt that in my soul.
Bissett the chemist has acquired a quantity of rare drugs for my immediate use.
Like, this man is insane, but also everything that Jekyll does, I'm just like, mood.
Some strange, deranged expression of what's in my heart.
What's in your heart is murder.
His cruelty incarnate everything I've wanted to eradicate from man's nature. And yet, so wonderful.
I like how in the beginning, when he was all composed, he had his hair perfectly back in that ponytail, and now he's kind of got, like, the Belle from Beauty and the Beast thing with, like, the ponytail with the one piece that just kind of, like, falls down.
I sit and watch the rain, I sit and watch the sky.
These two girls are still crushing on him, not knowing what a big mistake that is.
Will his eyes reveal to me?
I like how this girl's rocking, like, the off-the-shoulder 1988 fit. Like, let's not lie, I probably would wear something like that now. But I wouldn't pull it off like she's pulling it off. Ooh, she went for that high note.
Everything worth living for is there.
got more to live for. You don't need to get all this worked up over Jekyll. It really is always the guys with the J names. I'm kidding. This isn't TikTok. Guys with J names are probably adorable.
For a moment, I thought it was somebody else.
The moment it almost was.
So Hyde is back, and now he's being pervy.
Watching
That look! I'm so sorry. I hope you weren't coming here for like a serious like theater critic takedown of this, because it's not happening.
That's so unreal. Can you believe that it's true?
I barely know what's going on right now.
Out of a mystery tale.
Oh, he's gonna kill off my favorite character. I don't like that I can't tell if this is supposed to be sexy. Like, it's not. But I feel like they were trying to go there. Like, a little bit.
If you live around here.
Hey, 70s Rockstar Man is back. When you're trying to get up the energy to wash your hair in the morning.
Henry Jekyll is not available.
So the friend comes over and he's like, who are you?
I don't expect the doctor anytime soon.
And Hyde's like, well, if you don't know, I'm not gonna tell you.
What have I done with him?
The very small amount of blood splatter.
What's the matter? You afraid of science, huh? You afraid of the truth?
Question, does Hyde have his own outfits? Like, does he have a special outfit that's like, this is my Hyde outfit? Like I used to have when I worked on The Walking Dead. I had one set of clothes because I knew it was going to get ruined that I would just wear and I'd be like, this is my Walking Dead clothes. Does he have that? Or is he just systematically ruining all of Dr. Jekyll's outfits? I have to know.
John. John.
Oh, he's on a roller coaster of emotions.
Even as Hyde, I warned you.
Oh my God, Henry, you have destroyed yourself.
Perhaps.
Whoa, he's just now recognizing him. He's the same dude. At least Hannah Montana had a wig.
Lucy Harris?
Tell her to read it at once.
So he sends the friend out.
I'll search the world until the answer's found. Turn my despair around forevermore.
And he's like, now that I've killed a bunch of people, now I'm gonna try to save lives for real this time.
Fate has shattered. I'll retrieve what mattered. Somehow I've got to hang on till the evil has been defeated.
See how smoothly they set off that pyro? That was nice.
You are to leave London at once, tonight if possible.
So apparently he sent the friend to give a goodbye letter to this girl.
I feel I can never express that my private misfortunes prevent me from ever seeing you again.
This is the Victorian era version of breaking up in text message. Not cool, Jekyll. Well, not cool for all the murdery stuff, but also not cool for this.
what I wouldn't give to have a new life.
I think this is a message. If anybody's been dumped recently, just know the person that dumped you could have been a murderer. They probably were not. I don't know if that helps you at all right now, but just remember, it always works out for the best. Wow. Get it. I hope that, not that anyone will ever see this, but I do hope that everybody who worked on this project knows how much I genuinely, and this is completely in earnest as I'm saying this, I genuinely respect how they just put their all into these performances. Like, this is a hot mess, but it's so much fun and it's because of them. Oh no. No, 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 no.
You had another visitor this evening?
Hyde, you're giving sleep paralysis demon vibes.
No, sir, I'm not going anywhere.
No. No, you're not going anywhere.
I don't like it.
No, closer. Closer, yeah.
Mom, pick me up, I'm scared.
Sympathy.
Damn.
Tenderness.
All the other killings were funny. This one was just scary.
Goodness and sweetness and kindness I found in this place.
That one was a lot. Also, bless her, she like had to roll herself up even though she was a dead body.
Lost in the darkness.
Alright, you killed one of your girlfriends. What are you gonna do now?
I will find the answer.
He's like, I still got one girlfriend. I still got a chance to not mess this up.
That I...
Do you really think that I would ever let you go?
You know what this just made me think about? You know, the old Bo Burnham bit that's like, I am the left brain, I am the left brain. I work really hard till my inevitable death brain. I'm like the red and the blue. That's what I'm thinking about, sorry.
Live inside you forever. No!
Oh, you know there are moms out there that are just so happy to see shirtless Hoff.
No! Never! Yes! Forever! No! No! Never!
Yet, back from the dead he came, to the sound of wedding bells.
So now it's Jekyll's wedding day. I have a bad feeling that the bride's father is going to say, I told you so. I like the way the choreography was. It was like he was supposed to be waiting for her at the altar, but instead, she was only a couple paces behind him, so it just looks like he just started walking and forgot about her, and then was like, oh, my wife. I need one of those to get married.
If any man can show any just cause, why they may not lawfully be joined together.
I can. I do. I object.
Oh God, not now. Please help me, someone. Please take the pain away. Ow!
Oh, Hyde would like to object to the wedding, apparently.
Not on my wedding day! Not on my wedding day!
Poor Hoff had to just throw himself around.
God's name, Dr. Jekyll!
There is no Dr. Jekyll. Only Edward Hyde.
I love that the only discernible thing that changes about his appearance, truly, is that his hair gets a little messy.
It's all right.
His bride-to-be tries the old Black Widow and Hulk, where she's like, sun's getting real low, big guy.
Go on.
His friend's about to kill him with the tiniest sword I've ever seen. Oh my god, can we get an instant replay on that kill shot? It's very obviously going next to him, not into him. Oh dear.
Rest now. My tormented love.
The bride just starts singing to his dead body, and it's like, the friend's over there like, okay. Okay. Fine. No one wants to ask if I'm okay. I got attacked, and then I had to kill my best friend, but fine. Fine. I'm fine. And that's the end. Look at them taking their bow. They all look so exhausted, and honestly, I feel that exhaustion, and I didn't do anything. Oh, both the girls have very fancy curtsies. There's our boy. He comes flying out of the wings. Like, yes, it is me. I am Jekyll and Hyde. I assume that they were all pointing to the orchestra, like, thanking them. Or maybe their director, but, like, it was just such a, like, glam shot, right? Just that shot of them all pointing.
Did you like the show?
I liked the show.
And I wanted to personally say, on camera, thank you to the people at the Plymouth Theater and SFX, and mostly the cast and crew.
Aww.
Who kind of spoon-fed me, because I've come a long way from the beach in the talking car.
Bless. I know nothing about David Hasselhoff. He seems delightful.
Thank you for making my dream come true. Good night, everybody.
Oh. It really, you can really feel it that this was like a dream role of his. That high kick. Did you see that? In those dress pants? I am left with more questions than I do answers, really. And also, if you have time, read the comments under this video because, oh, it's so great. Everyone, girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. Jekyll. I won't do it, girl. I'm just thinking about it. Some minutes later. Jekyll as Hyde. I did it. The comment section is a mix of people memeing and people genuinely fangirling, and honestly, again, I want to be very clear. I have thoroughly enjoyed watching this. I truly think the cast and crew should be proud of themselves for putting in the work. I feel like I hold every single opinion about this show because it's insane. But God, is it so much fun to watch. Thank you, Noah, for sending me this. Just like I had no way to lead in, I feel like I have no way to lead out. There was a lot of things happening, and I feel like a lot of the things should not have happened, but they did. And honestly, the fact that we live in the David Hasselhoff as Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway universe, that's pretty cool. I'm glad to be in this universe right now. There are a lot of things that I cover that are bad, but just like bad in the way that I'm like, ew, I never want to have to watch this ever again. But then there's things like this, where there's only so much thought that I can give to the technicalities being off before I'm just genuinely caught up in being entertained. And also, I just haven't covered a musical in a really long time, and I think I want to cover more really soon. I've floated the idea of covering both the professional recordings of Phantom of the Opera and Love Never Dies, the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. Did you not know there was a sequel? Because there is, and it's ridiculous. And just genuinely, Noah, thank you, because this was a wonderful way to get back into musical theater content, because I have had a lot of fun. So that's it for this video. It's probably going to be very long. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. You guys are the best. I feel about you the way that David Hasselhoff felt about that crowd. You are making my dreams come true. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye! Okay, but Facade is gonna be in my head for like the rest of, well, it's technically tomorrow now because it's after midnight, but it's gonna be in my head for all day today.
Hey, I'm Miley Cyrus from Hannah Montana, and you're watching Disney Channel.